Thousands of people turned out for a candlelight march in San Francisco, a final farewell to Herb Caen. Earlier, hundreds more shared tears and laughter in memory of the man who touched them with his words. We'll have complete coverage.
Can United Airlines in San Francisco come to terms on the city's domestic partners law? We'll tell you what the 10 o'clock news has found out. Plus, strangers a year ago, best friends today. Segment 2 looks at what happened to two baby chimps abandoned by their mothers and raised together in the Bay Area. Those stories and all the news on this Friday night, February 7th, 1997.
Live from KTVU, this is the award-winning 10 o'clock news on Channel 2, the #1 primetime newscast in the country.
Good evening, I'm Elaine Corral.
And I'm Dennis Richmond. Thousands of people turned out in San Francisco tonight to pay tribute to a man like none other. They lined the waterfront walkway named in his honor and paid tribute to legendary columnist Herb Caen. After almost 6 decades of writing a column that some say mirrored San Francisco, tonight's candlelight walk along Herb Caen Way was a fitting end to a final day in his honor. We begin our coverage with Greg Liggins in San Francisco with a live report. Greg.
Well, Dennis, no official number just yet, but in this reporter's opinion, at least a couple thousand people turned out to take the candlelight memorial walk down Herb Caen Way, also known as the Embarcadero. People say Herb Caen gave a lot to this city, so they came here to give him a little something in return. The Glide Memorial Choir helped get the crowd warmed up before the walk down the Embarcadero. Some came just for the party, but others came to honor the man who helped make San Francisco something special when he was around.
You know, we're a city now. Back then we were a city with someone who was kind of like Dad, you know? And now we're just a city. I mean, it's still San Francisco, and we're still the most original place on the planet. But there's a voice missing. And I guess that's why everybody's here tonight.
Salute to Herb. Salute to Herb.
All across San Francisco, glasses were being raised to honor Caen and his column.
Well, I've been reading it since I was 5. He even put me in it once. You know, I don't read the Chronicle as much now that he's not there. What can I say?
The drink served in these sophisticated-looking glasses was Caen's favorite, and today it was the beverage of choice in the city by the bay.
It seems to be martinis, Stoli martinis. A lot of people are asking for.
Many people saying goodbye to Caen were loyal fans of his work. People were also asking for a plate of this, a hearty hunk of all-American meatloaf, another favorite of Caen's. It was a specialty today on many menus.
Almost at least 500 meatloaves today, at least, so far.
Actually, I haven't had meatloaf in probably 10 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it sounded like fun.
So kind of in Herb's honor?
Yeah. I just couldn't do the vodka martini with ice. I like it straight up.
And what better way to end a good meal than with a brisk walk? That's what thousands of people came to do along the honorary Herb Caen Way. It was a shining moment in San Francisco as thousands of candles flickered to honor San Francisco's super scribe.
He was kind of the glue that held us all together.
The candlelight walk came to rest at Aquatic Park, where people gathered around a huge blow-up of one of Caen's favorite columns. People were leaving little mementos, tokens of their appreciation and their affection for all those years that Caen toiled over his royal typewriter just so we'd have a little something interesting to read at the morning breakfast table. And then, of course, the evening ended with a bang. What a way to end an evening, a very memorable moment in San Francisco history. Back to you, Dennis Elaine.
Greg Liggins in San Francisco. Thank you, Greg.
The celebration of Herb Caen's life began this morning. Thousands of people made their way to Grace Cathedral to say goodbye to the man known as Mr. San Francisco. As Bob McKenzie reports, they included family and friends, civic leaders and celebrities, all loyal readers of Herb Caen, and all paid tribute to him in their own way.
They came from every part of the city and from cities far away to honor the man who held up a magic mirror to San Francisco for almost 60 years. Their number included the humble and obscure as well as the wealthy and powerful. Herb Caen left good memories for everyone.
Not only did he convey the image of the city, I think he created the image of the city. In great part, I think we owe what we see San Francisco to be. I think we see what Herb saw San Francisco to be. And I miss the fact that he, more than perhaps anyone else, gave us our identity.
We had a lot of fun together. We used to play pool every day. And one day he told me, we got to quit smoking, Enrico. We just have to quit smoking. I says, no. He says, yeah, we're going to quit. So we quit together 25 years ago.
Herb, at heart, was a soft, soft person. Just a kindly person. We'd walk down the street. He'd hand 50 cents to some poor, desolate old man or lady.
Every time we tended to veer a little off track, he gently nudged us back. So we're going to miss him. We're going to miss him a lot. He wrote with panache, he wrote with wit, and we're going to miss that too.
The service in Grace Cathedral was tailored to Herb's tastes, beginning with the music, soft, subtle jazz woven around a lovely old tune. San Francisco's mayor introduced himself as Willie Brown, a friend of Herb Caen's.
Herb was absolutely amazing. He literally lived every day of his life, and he lived it currently, not in the past. Started that column in the 30s. That column was just as relevant in the 70s, in the 80s, and in the 90s. Herb's writings could make the powerful more powerful. Herb's writings could render the powerful harmless. And as Herb usually would say, it's amazing how quickly you can read my column when you're looking only for your name.
Hello, my name is Charlton Heston.
Actor Robin Williams contributed one of his freestyle riffs.
Angels have wings because they take themselves lightly, and he probably is getting some pretty good hang time right now because he had an amazing sense of humor. It's a kind of a matter of perspective. And I hope that right now you're up there maybe at some very, very special, they must have a club up there too, I mean, Fillmore North. Before we come up here for a very special Herb communion, which will consist of dry martinis and sourdough bread. And if you don't see God then, you never will.
Herb Caen's son read from one of his father's columns.
San Francisco between the great holidays. The 49ers were seldom worse, and the Giants may be disappearing, but the Transamerica Pyramid is balancing the moon on its nose like a trained seal, and the mood is high. The Debs and the stars are out, a new year and a new administration around the corner, and all could yet be well with the world.
May the Lord lift up the light of his countenance upon us and give us peace this day and forevermore. Amen.
And as everyone knows, Herb Caen was also a passionate fan of the opera. In San Francisco, Bob McKenzie for the 10 o'clock news.
It's time for the Macy's White Flower Sale. Now through Sunday. save 20 to 50% store-wide. Get quick while the savings are in full bloom. Macy's White Flower Sale. Macy's, everything you love about shopping.
Hundreds of mourners honored another San Francisco journalist today, a fighter for progress, a hero for an entire community. I'm Randy Shandeville. The story's still ahead.
Never before have you seen a vehicle like this. One that can open doors and stay as versatile as you. It's Third Door Sonoma by GMC. Our latest innovation. The first and only vehicle of its kind that's open to it all. No matter how open, open happens to be. And right now, get 3.9% APR financing for up to 60 months. See your Northern California GMC dealer today.
The NHL on Fox, the Red Wings and the Penguins, Saturday at noon on Channel 2.
The jurors in the O.J. Simpson civil trial have gone home for the weekend after beginning deliberations in the penalty phase of his trial. O.J. Simpson did not accompany his attorney to court today. Defense attorney Robert Baker asked the jury not to substitute huge punitive damages for prison. Baker also said that Simpson is broke, in debt in fact. But the plaintiff's lead attorney, Daniel Petrocelli, said you must let Simpson know that you cannot kill two people and get away with it. After those final arguments, the jury deliberated for about 2.5 hours.
This is one of those things where it's literally a credibility question. Do the jurors believe that O.J. Simpson has got some potential to make some real big money like the plaintiffs claim, or is he simply not marketable like the defense claims?
Petrocelli also told the jurors you must send a message loud enough so that Simpson can hear it on whatever golf course he is hiding out on. And as it turned out, Simpson was at a golf course this evening when a twin-engine plane crashed at about 5:30. The two people on board were injured. The golf course manager said O.J. Simpson was not anywhere near where the plane went down.
Governor Pete Wilson today withdrew the state of California's offer of a reward for information about the person who killed Bill Cosby's son, Ennis. Bill Cosby had requested that no public money be used as a reward for information. The offer was made by Lieutenant Governor Gray Davis last month while Wilson was out of the country and Davis was acting governor. Ennis Cosby was shot and killed as he was changing a flat tire on a freeway off-ramp in Los Angeles last month. So far, there have been no arrests. The two powerful groups that have been fighting San Francisco's new domestic partners law appear to be ready to end their resistance tonight. One is the Catholic Church, which threatened to sue, claiming the law violates the church's First Amendment rights. But as parishioners arrived for afternoon mass today at St. Mary's Cathedral, where Archbishop William Leveda conducts services, there was word that Leveda has reached a compromise with City Hall. The church holds contracts with the city, and the new law says any city contractor that provides benefits for employees' spouses must provide equal benefits for so-called domestic partners. Under the compromise, church employees could designate a spouse or child or any legal household member to receive the benefits. Also today, the 10 o'clock news has learned that the city is about to resolve a similar dispute with United Airlines. Rita Williams has that report.
The friendly skies of United Airlines may be getting a lot friendlier, at least for United's employees. After weeks of delays and negotiations with the city, it now appears the world's largest airline may in fact comply with San Francisco's new law and begin providing benefits to the domestic partners of its workers.
For me, being that I have a domestic partner 14 years, I would be able to utilize my benefits, and my domestic partner would be able to, as other married spouses of our employees are utilizing those benefits today.
Joe Oshinsky, a United engineering supervisor the past 5 years, says he's excited that his same-sex partner finally could use flight discounts now given to spouses and accompany him on trips. Oshinsky says since his partner is an accountant, he probably wouldn't switch to United's medical coverage, but
the big thing is he's given the right to choose, like the married spouses of our other employees.
The city still hasn't announced the deal with United, but members of the Board of Supervisors negotiating with United confirmed it to me this afternoon.
We just received a statement from United, language from United, and it's very satisfactory. They have agreed to be in compliance with our domestic partners ordinance.
Supervisor Tom Amiano says United would provide the benefits to same-sex or different-sex partners of its employees, not just here at San Francisco Airport, but nationwide. Actually, supervisors say it's not a done deal yet. They say the city's giving United a contract for land at the airport for a new flight kitchen and equipment repair facility for almost 2 years, with an automatic extension of 23 more years if United starts providing domestic partner benefits within the next 2 years.
I think it's wonderful news.
But Liz Loeffler, the president of the union local for United's flight attendants, questions the need for the delay in providing the benefits. She says United already provides them to workers in New Zealand, Australia, and the Netherlands.
If they're currently providing it elsewhere because the laws of those countries mandate or require them to do so, then I believe that they should have done this and made it available to all United Airlines employees.
One reason United employees here told us they're excited about the breakthrough is that it'll probably have a domino effect. If the world's largest airline, they say, provides domestic partner benefits, the other airlines will soon follow. At San Francisco Airport, Rita Williams for the 10 o'clock news.
The tips came in by the carload today, but South San Francisco police say the robbers who hijacked a van containing $820,000 in cash remain at large tonight. Police say the robbery that began when the van stopped for gas has prompted loads and loads of calls. They say they're checking out every lead. The van turned up some 10 miles away in Foster City. The cash and the robbers were gone. The money reportedly was all in $20 bills headed for automatic teller machines in the Central Valley. The van's 2 armed guards were left tied up inside the van. They eventually freed themselves. Police are looking for 2 robbers. One is described as a white male in his 40s, thin with a slight build. Police have released just this one sketch, but the second robber is described as a white or Hispanic male in his 30s with a medium build. A small farming community in southern Santa Cruz County is fighting back tonight over a persistent problem of violence involving juveniles. The city is Watsonville, and a crackdown involves a curfew program that goes into effect tonight, a program modeled after a similar one in San Jose. Diane Garazzi is in Watsonville with a live report. Diane.
Elaine, the curfew will start here at 11 o'clock tonight and run through 5 in the morning. Police will be patrolling 7 days a week during those hours, looking for anyone under the age of 18 who's out on the street. They're doing this to try and curb gang violence. It's a major problem in this farming community of just 35,000 people. There were 5 homicides in Watsonville last year, 4 of them attributed to gang members. Just last night, another 2 people were stabbed in what police say may be yet another gang attack.
You have an increase for a while, and then it'll quiet down for a while, and then it increases again. Here we go.
Police Corporal Steve Nakamoto says these are the type of teens the curfew targets. Youngsters in groups milling around after dark with no apparent place to go. Officers will concentrate their patrols outside liquor stores, parks, and public gathering spots. They'll pick teens up if they detect trouble brewing.
If they're coming home from a community event, or if they're in the presence of adults, or someone who's taking care of them, then that's fine. But if they're generally up to no good, we're going to detain them, bring them here to the police department, and then to the youth center.
They'll take the curfew violators to this youth center, not to participate in any sports, but to be kept in a separate room waiting for their parents to arrive. Once the parents are there, they'll receive counseling from a professional counselor right there on the spot, parent and child together, looking for potential problems.
Any drug abuse, any alcohol abuse, maybe they're involved in gangs, and to find out if there's any other issues involved there and what those issues are, and if we can help them out in any way.
The program is modeled after a similar one in San Jose, one that has cut youth crime by 13% and saw a 42% drop in the number of reported stab or gunshot wounds. But will it work in Watsonville, a city that has an overgrown gang problem, a city of a few very rich and many, many poor farm laborers?
So from time to time, there has been times when I've been a little concerned about the safety of not just my child, but other kids as well.
Do you think keeping them off the streets late at night is going to help?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
I think it's a good idea because people around here, it's not that safe.
Cops are bad. Cops are bad for the cholos, huh? Yeah.
These children outside the youth center tonight were delighted to receive police trading cards. It's just one way that officers here in Watsonville are trying to soften their approach. The curfew is another way. Rather than prosecute violators, the system gives them counseling. By contrast, a curfew that emphasized punishment was on the books here for years, but with little success. Police now say, given the history of violence in this town, it's definitely worth a try. Elaine, Dennis.
Diane Garazzi live in Watsonville. Thank you, Diane.
There is still more news ahead tonight. Coming up, tens of thousands of Bay Area residents celebrate their biggest holiday of the year. We'll have a live report. Also ahead, the federal government promises to pitch in and help pay for California's floods. The question tonight is how much?
A bit later tonight, details concerning a bizarre hostage incident involving dozens of people in a big city back east.
And we got some rain in the Bay Area today, but it was almost nothing. We'll tell you about that and a good forecast for your weekend. I'll have the details coming up.
The best night on television is on Fox Sunday night. First, see more of the wildest celebrations ever caught on tape. RSVP, the world's funniest party disasters, too. Then Homer's the voice of TV's newest cartoon.
I'm Poochie the Rockin' Dog.
The network has sunk to a new low.
On a brand new Simpsons. And Hit the Links with guest stars Willie Nelson and Dennis Hopper.
Let's drive straight to Mexico, huh?
It all starts Sunday at 7 on Fox Channel 2.
What's the recipe for fun? Take one Little Mermaid, add a dash of Cinderella, a huge helping of color, 80, 90, 101 Dalmatians, shake, and add ice. It's Walt Disney's World on Ice. A whole bunch of your favorite Disney friends, featuring 101 Dalmatians, together in one spectacular live show the whole family will love. It's the recipe for fun, and it's the hottest thing on ice.
Coming to Cal Palace February 12th through 18th and San Jose Arena February 21st through March 2nd.
Is that not a sexy utility vehicle?
So I really appreciate the standard V8 engine of the Mercury. It's got plenty of power, pulls the jet ski. You don't even know it's there.
The mountain bike goes in the back of the Mountaineer.
Lots of room for lots of stuff.
Rides great, just like a luxury car. Everything about it looks great.
My vehicle works extremely well for my business as well as my family.
I did not think you could have such passion for metal and rubber as I do for my truck.
You couldn't ask for anything more. They really did a quality job.
Imagine yourself in a Mercury now.
They've been at it for a year now, trying to learn crucial lessons from each other. I'm John Fowler. Still ahead on segment 2, we'll catch up on this intriguing Oakland Zoo experiment.
Free admission. This year, Orchard's How-To Fair will be in San Mateo, and I'll be there to meet you, along with Steve Thomas and Martin Yan. Orchard's How-To Fair. It's free. This weekend, San Mateo Expo. See you at the fair.
KFC's got a roasted chicken you'll fall for. We call it tender roast. Each piece individually seasoned, then slow roasted to tender perfection. Try tender roast, only at KFC. You'll love it to pieces.
Everybody needs a little KFC.
Now get 8 pieces of tender roast chicken, just $7.99.
You'll be happy to know that Midas is having their brake sale, where you'll save 25% on any brake shoes and pads, guaranteed for as long as you own your car. The brake sale.
A Clinton administration official said today California can expect a lot of federal money to help recover from this winter's floods. The Deputy Interior Secretary John Garamendi said he doesn't know exactly how much money California will get because not all the damage estimates are in. Garamendi made the comments today in Sacramento. He said the administration will decide within the next 2 weeks how much money to request from Congress to help California. The president is already proposing more than $143 million in his new budget to repair and restore levees in the Sacramento-San Joaquin Bay Delta area.
The Delta cannot survive as it is today. It will not be the Delta. Levees will break, islands will be flooded, and the ecosystem will be totally changed, and not for the better unless we take steps to change and to address the problems of the Delta.
Yosemite National Park is one area that will need significant help. It has suffered at least $170 million in damage and is closed to the public. Garamendi says if there are no further problems, Yosemite could reopen by late spring.
Today is New Year's Day for thousands of people here in the Bay Area and around the world. It is the beginning of the Year of the Ox, a time when families get together for a holiday feast and the most important holiday of the year for the Chinese American community. Faith Fancher is in San Francisco tonight with a live report. Faith.
Elaine, according to the Chinese calendar, this is the first night of the Lunar New Year. On the streets of Chinatown in San Francisco and in homes throughout the Bay Area, this is a night for celebration. Last night in the Chinese tradition, families paid off their debts, made peace, and wiped the slate clean for the new year. Tonight they celebrate this new year, new life, and a new beginning. Tonight at the Empress of China restaurant in the heart of San Francisco's Chinatown, 40 members and friends of the whole family welcomed the new year in grand style. In this banquet room are 4 generations, from the youngest celebrating his second new year to the oldest who's seen decades of new beginnings. The whole family, like thousands of other Chinese families, are feasting tonight together, enjoying the company of each other and remembering the Chinese traditions.
When I was younger, the favorite is to get the little red money bags. But now that I'm older, I have to give it.
In the lobby of the restaurant, there are more New Year's traditions. Cherry blossoms symbolize new birth, and there are offerings of fruit and sweets for good luck. And what appears to be the most favored tradition for everyone, red envelopes stuffed with crisp new money. One celebrant told us tonight he goes all the way to Taiwan when he can to be with his grandparents on this special day.
We say, 恭喜发财, 红包拿来, which means Happy New Year, give me my money. It's pretty greedy, but it works. That's what you say to your elderly. And it's, you get a money pouch that's red, and you get it from elderly people, and it's a happy experience for me.
This is our little dragon's head. Scares away the spirits.
Melissa Lee and her family usually celebrate with a traditional dinner at home in Los Angeles. Tonight they decided to come all the way to San Francisco and eat out. But she couldn't resist giving us her usual menu for good luck and happiness in the new year.
I try with my noodles, and there's a Buddhist vegetable dish that I make too. It's called jai, and I've made all kinds of things, pastries and things like that, noodles, beef, chicken, fish. And usually I invite all my friends over, and we have a big dinner.
As just about any shop window in Chinatown can tell you, this is the year of the ox. If you're born under the sign of the ox, you're patient, quiet, and trustworthy, a good, strong, tireless worker. But beware, the ox aroused, he is stubborn and quick to anger. Of course, all this celebrating ends with the big Chinese New Year parade in San Francisco, which Channel 2 covers live February 22nd. And I've got my first money pouch, Dennis and Elaine, gung hei fat choy.
Thank you, Faith. There is more news still ahead on tonight's 10 o'clock news. Coming up, the Air Force grounds a number of its fighter jets after some close encounters with commercial jets.
Also ahead, a report on today's memorial service for another Bay Area journalist, a man who was a heroic figure to many in the African-American community. We'll be right back.
Chinese Memories are sponsored by Disneyland.
As an Asian American in America and as a principal of the schools, I think the importance to be a role model to our children so that they can see that Asians can succeed in America and can be whatever they want to be. We as principals need to challenge them and provide the opportunity for them to learn and to grow and really make it in this society.
If you take us to Disneyland, you'll be teaching us an important lesson about family bonding. But you won't just be saying it, you'll be showing it in a fun way, an exciting way. So exciting you want to say 3 extra days. But it won't cost you a thing if you come and find out how to get this. So what do you say? Disneyland, let's go play.
Once upon a time, there was a beautiful princess who wanted a little more magic in her life. So she went to see the wizard and asked him what to do. Get a Katara, said the wizard. And suddenly there was a coach like she'd never seen before. Well, off they drove into the night with the beautiful princess at the reins. This is magic, thought the princess, but I don't know whether to buy it or lease it. Well, either way, I'll just put it on my bill, said the wizard. Katera, it's the caddy that zigs.
In San Jose, a fight to save one of the first vaudeville theaters in the country from falling to the wrecker's ball. I'm Lloyd LaQuesta. The story's still ahead.
In 1984, two computer scientists envisioned the impossible, a seamless network of computer networks. They invented the router, and Cisco Systems was born. Out of Cisco came internetworking, and now directing millions of messages a day. Their equipment makes the internet possible. Cisco will be there as web users soar to 200 million by the year 2000. Where do you learn about companies so integrated into the future? Exactly. NASDAQ.com.
When he's not playing football, Steve Young likes to get away from it all. And the Toyota Tacoma, built right here in Northern California, makes it pretty easy. So easy, he just might take up some other sports.
Let me get this straight. They can bite with no penalty, and you're supposed to fight them?
Yeah, and if you catch them, you skin them and eat them.
Man, this sport is violent.
In Philadelphia today, it took police hours to unravel what looked like a hostage situation at a check cashing store. SWAT teams surrounded the store after reports that gunmen were inside holding about 100 people hostage. Finally, officers let the people leave one by one, searching them as they came out. The drama actually began the night before when 4 gunmen kidnapped the assistant manager and held her at her home. They brought her back to the store this morning, apparently planning to rob an armored car when it came to the check cashing business. But police say the armored car came and went too quickly for the would-be robbers. They left, and as it turned out, were not in the store during the time police thought people were being held hostage. Police did arrest 2 suspects and are looking for as many as 6 others.
The Air Force today suspended all of its flights in military training areas along the East Coast. That move came after 4 National Guard fighter jets had a close encounter with a civilian airliner off the coast of Maryland today. The pilot of an American Eagle turboprop said he plans to file a, quote, near mid-air collision report. It's the second incident in 3 days involving military planes and a civilian airliner. The first incident already had the FAA and the military reviewing procedures. Fox News reporter Don Daler has the story.
The Boeing 727 was 70 miles south of Kennedy Airport en route from Puerto Rico when it entered a restricted airspace known as Warning Area 107. It's at this point that accounts differ. Nations Air and the Navy say the commercial airline asked for and received permission to enter the military training zone. But the New Jersey Air National Guard says the pilots of its 2 F-16s, like those pictured here, had not yet been informed of that when they set out to inspect an unidentified aircraft. Nations Air says one of the fighter jets came close enough to set off their automatic collision warning 3 times. Following the emergency computer's instructions, the pilot of the 727 dove, then climbed, causing 2 flight attendants and a passenger to be thrown to the floor. This radar image of the incident obtained by Fox News shows 2 planes apparently very close, but the image could be misleading. The Pentagon denies it was a near collision.
And it's unclear to us at this time whether he was told there was traffic in the area or whether he did his normal radar sweep, but he did a radar sweep of the area and detected traffic in the area. He instructed his wingman to hold clear while he investigated the traffic in the area. He made radar contact with the aircraft. He later got visual contact with the aircraft, and the information we have is that he closed in to positively identify that aircraft and then broke off at a later time and resumed his mission.
But at least one aviation expert says even that should never have happened.
They just don't see a target unknown to the military but known to air traffic control and dispatch airplanes to go practice intercepts on them. There's absolutely no reason for it. Their position is absolutely indefensible. I think they would be a lot more credible if they just said, I think we made a little bit of a mistake here.
The Air Force and the National Transportation Safety Board are now investigating this incident. They're looking at the actions of the jet fighter pilots, but they're also looking at whether the 727 was on the correct course and flying at the correct altitude. Don Daler, Fox News.
A bitter family battle over the custody of a doctor with Alzheimer's disease took yet another turn today in a Hayward courtroom. A judge ruled Dr. Gerald Klooster can once again live with his wife. Last September, Dr. Klooster was hospitalized for an overdose of pills and alcohol. A judge then ruled he should be in the care of his daughter. Amidst widespread publicity, Klooster had come home from Michigan in April. His son Chip had taken him there and gone to court. The son claimed his mother attempted to contact Dr. Jack Kevorkian to help with an assisted suicide. She denied it.
While most of the city was toasting Herb Caen today, a smaller group of people paused to remember another journalist. To African Americans in the Bay Area, Dr. Carlton Goodlett was a giant. Goodlett was 82. He died 12 days ago, but was memorialized today at almost the same time as Herb Caen. Randy Shandeville reports.
Hundreds of people crowded into San Francisco's Third Baptist Church today, some telling us they came to honor dozens of heroes. All of those heroes, one man, Dr. Carlton Goodlett.
He's an icon in this community. So he was a scholar, he's a journalist, he's a doctor, he's an entrepreneur. He's an incredible man.
Goodlett is perhaps most known for his almost 50 years as publisher of the Sun Reporter newspaper, the most powerful African-American paper in Northern California. But he's also known as a pioneer, the first African-American to earn a PhD in psychology from UC Berkeley, one of the area's first black medical doctors.
He was very unique in his perspective on what the role of a physician was. He felt that a physician should take his stethoscope outside of the examining room.
Goodlett used his stethoscope to listen to the soul of his community, becoming a prominent civil rights advocate. And as one of the first newspaper publishers to come out against the war in Vietnam, in 1966, he even ran a long-shot campaign for California governor.
For me as a young kid growing up in Vallejo, he was the shining light. He was the biggest star in the galaxy.
I miss that guy.
Goodlett's longtime friend and editor, Thomas Fleming, said it hurt to watch Goodlett in his last years, deteriorating from Parkinson's disease, barely able to talk.
I knew how frustrated he was. You know, as articulate he was on everything, and there he couldn't make other people understand what he was saying.
He was a great man, a great fighter for progress. I think it is wonderful that he lived to see his boy, as he called him, Willie Brown, become the mayor of Carlton City.
He had an extraordinary life. He was raised during the time when everything was allegedly separate but equal. He was raised when there were no affirmative action programs, no set-asides. The Lord had given this man such extraordinary talent. Even the color of his skin could not deny the recognition of his genius. He achieved everything he wanted to achieve.
One speaker said one of the few things Carlton Goodlett had trouble doing was closing his eyes. He wanted to accomplish so much, he refused to let his days end. Randy Shandeville for the 10 o'clock news.
Coming up next tonight on the 10 o'clock news, meteorologist Bill Martin will be here to tell us all we need to know about the weekend weather forecast. And a bit later, South Bay Bureau Chief Lloyd LaQuesta reports on a grassroots effort to save a San Jose landmark.
On segment 2 tonight, we'll go back and see how 2 orphan chimps are faring 1 year later. Elaine and I will be right back.
This weekend, the Super Sale at the Cow Palace. Color TVs and VCRs, $89. Levi jeans, $10. Guess jeans and Calvin Klein, $29. Nike, Reebok, Fila, Adidas, more shoes, $19. Rollerblades, $25. Super Nintendo and Sega cartridges, $12. Motorola pagers, $19. Tools, tires, wheels, stereos, car stereos, jewelry, perfume, purses. Slate pool table, $7.99. Sony, Pioneer, Hitachi. Thousands of bargains to 70% off at the Cow Palace. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the Super Sale.
You know, I've been telling you about the AT&T One Rate plan.
One rate anytime.
Well, now there's the AT&T One Rate International plan.
International?
Yeah, each country has its own low rate on calls from home anytime. What country? Almost any country you can think of.
Each with its own low rate.
Exactly.
One rate to Sweden anytime.
Yeah.
I can call Chile.
Yeah, Chile would love to hear from you. What do you know in Chile?
Like you're so busy calling Sweden.
I can call Sweden. All right, what happened there?
One low rate per country anytime. The AT&T One Rate International plan.
Never before have you seen a vehicle like this. One that can open doors and stay as versatile as you. It's Third Door Sonoma by GMC. Our latest innovation. The first and only vehicle of its kind that's open to it all. No matter how open happens to be. And right now, get 3.9% APR financing for up to 60 months. See your Northern California GMC dealer today.
The boys are back in town. Nick Nolte, Eddie Murphy. Another 48 hours.
Saturday at 6 on Channel 2.
Tonight's weather report is brought to you by Staples, the office superstore.
The copier's broken again. Can we get a Xerox? They have them at Staples.
I'll think about it.
Oh, I ordered your Xerox copier.
You did? Thank you!
Get guaranteed low prices on over 7,000 items and free delivery. Staples, yeah, we've got that.
If you're planning an outdoors weekend, our meteorologist Bill Martin says, don't let this little weather, don't let the little sprinkles frighten you out of it.
Yeah, things are shaping up in the Bay Area, even as we speak. Showers moving out of the Bay Area, and we're looking for a very nice weekend. Here's how it looked today. You can see a container ship going behind Coit Tower there. We had a lot of clouds out there, even some sprinkles. Fast forward look of the last hour of the day will show you a lot of clouds. And in Oakland in the East Bay, that's when we had the most rain, really. We had 6/100ths of an inch of rain falling towards sunset at Fairfield. The current radar shows you showers moving off into the west slope of the Sierra. A few scattered linger showers around San Francisco Bay, but gradually clearing out. We did have mild temperatures today, mostly in the 50s and low 60s, and the rainfall was very light. The thing to note, again, is percents of normal. All Bay Area cities, just a few samplings here, but well above normal. San Jose, 162% of normal. Your temperatures today, as I mentioned, were not too bad. You know, despite all the cloud cover, we had temperatures a little bit above normal, just right at the normal range. Vallejo was 60, 62 in San Jose. Stetson Beach was 61. We also saw some mid and low 60s. Livermore made it to 64 degrees and Morgan Hill 63. Tomorrow's temperature's warmer. Lots of low 60s tomorrow. We may even see a 67-degree reading in a place like Santa Cruz. The reason is, this is the last 24 hours infrared satellite. Here we are. Watch this weather system, and the clouds just kind of move through. And what you're seeing here is the last bit of showers, and then this ridge building in. And so that will be with us throughout the weekend. There is another weather system out here that could affect us on Monday and Tuesday, but the weekend looks great. Now, they're getting a bunch of snow in the Plains states, in the Ohio and the Mississippi Valley. These pictures from Kansas City. They had snow today. They got an inch of snow, as you can see. Very wet. Now, that weather system is a pretty strong one. It could affect some of your travel. The current radar image shows you that system. Now, it's moving out of the southern Mississippi Valley into the Ohio Valley. Snow falling as far south as Memphis, Tennessee. They could see 4 to 8 inches in the Virginia areas, in the mountains outside of Virginia. We are looking for this to continue through the night. So if you're traveling into this region, you're going to have some possible travel delays. New York, 38 degrees, scattered showers. All the way down through the Carolinas. Atlanta could see a scattered shower with 55. Cold in the northern plains, 45 in Seattle and Los Angeles. Tomorrow, 65 degrees. And for us, partly sunny, a much nicer day than we had today. 55 to 65. And I was looking at the dew points earlier, and we got a real good chance for some valley fog to reform tomorrow morning because it's clearing so quickly. So watch out for that. 55 to 65, we've got a real nice weekend planned. If you're heading to the mountains, they are getting some snow flurries up there, and we are expecting those to end late tonight, early tomorrow. So a real nice weekend ahead for the Bay Area.
Sounds great.
Thanks, Bill.
Okay. Thanks, Bill.
And coming up in our next segment tonight, remember those 2 young chimps who couldn't live with their mothers? We'll show you the progress they're making 1 year later. Plus, will a piece of vaudeville history go the way of the wrecking ball for the sake of a modern San Jose? We'll be right back.
What's the recipe for fun? Take One Little Mermaid, add a dash of Cinderella, a huge helping of color, 80, 90, 101 Dalmatians, shake, and add ice. It's Walt Disney's World on Ice. A whole bunch of your favorite Disney friends, featuring 101 Dalmatians, together in one spectacular live show the whole family will love. It's the recipe for fun, and it's the hottest thing on ice.
Coming to Cow Palace February 12th through 18th and San Jose Arena February 21st through March 2nd.
We had a very pleasant experience.
This was the best buying experience I can ever remember.
It was his ability to make a decision about our trade-ins and discounts that got our attention.
Just wonderful.
Sound like outstanding service?
How about great selection?
Come to Filori, Chrysler, Plymouth, Jeep, Eagle.
Filori Superstores in Sunnyvale and Serramonte.
Where else can you get outstanding service and great selection?
Filori is the new place to be this weekend.
Family to family, KTVU's commitment to the community continues in partnership with the Clorox Company, committed to education because a bright future depends on bright minds. Become a volunteer to help abused and neglected children in San Mateo or Santa Clara counties. For only 4 hours per week, you can be a mentor or provide transportation. Attend a 6-hour training session on Saturday, March 8th, given by the Child Advocacy Council. For more information, call 415-327-8120.
The new Dodge.
To find the pickups that are #1 in sales growth in California, here's a hint.
You can outdrive, out-hustle, out-tough, out-muscle, out-tow, out-run, out-work, and out-fun. Show them what you got.
From more available power to greater resale, Dodge Ram is #1 in more categories versus Ford, Chevy, and GMC. Ram's also California's coolest, thanks to air at no extra charge.
California's truck stop. The new Dodge.
Are you experienced?
Exclusively at ZALES through Valentine's for just $99, you can get this heart-shaped box filled with chocolates and, of course, an exquisite diamond heart pendant. After all, we are ZALES, the Diamond and Valentine gift store.
The concepts of preservation and progress appear to be running headlong into each other in a downtown San Jose area at the site of an old theater. It's an emotional dispute over the future of a building with a historic past. South Bay Bureau Chief Lloyd LaQuesta reports.
San Jose has built a modern downtown, but some want the past also preserved.
Theater Jose featured vaudeville acts. Houdini and Jolson graced the stage. The cast of Jose were thousands. Then silent movies became the rage.
That song, The Ballad of Jose Theater, documents the history of the 93-year-old building on 2nd Street, one of the first theaters in the country built specifically for vaudeville. The old and the young remember childhoods spent in this theater.
I and some of my friends used to come here very often. When you can get in for a nickel, and you saw a cartoon, newsreel, a movie, and you also got some vaudeville.
We used to watch movies over here for like 50 cents, you know. Watch Bruce Lee movies when Bruce Lee was out back in the early 70s.
But the city has plans to demolish the Jose Theater and put in its place apartments and retail stores. Today, opponents gathered to make a last-ditch effort to save the Jose.
We want to bring to the attention to the public the importance of this building, that it is a city historical city landmark.
A spokesman for San Jose's redevelopment agency says hearings will begin soon to lift the building's landmark designation. The theater closed 6 years ago, and now developers proposing a $20 million project that will leave the theater's facade in place, but tear down the rest of the building for apartments and stores. The redevelopment agency says no one else has come forward with proposals or funds for the Jose Theater property, and as it stands now, the site is a hazard. The Preservation Action Council says for historical value alone, the building should remain.
It gives you a better feeling, I think, when you come into a city where you can see, you know, that it just wasn't built yesterday.
Friends of Jose Theater, for our future, let's save the past. For our future generations, time is running out fast.
The San Jose City Council is expected to act on the future of the Jose Theater in May or June. In San Jose, Lloyd LaQuesta for the 10 o'clock news.
On segment 2 tonight, we revisit two friends who are growing older and stronger and learning from each other how to be chimpanzees. That's because they are chimpanzees. They are the subjects of an intriguing experiment that began at the Oakland Zoo a year ago. Tonight, Health and Science editor John Fowler fills us in on their progress.
At the Oakland Zoo, the adult chimpanzees are out here, Fran and Abby and the others, while toddlers Amy and Karamia have their own room.
This is their home away from home.
And they let visitors know who's boss.
Oh. Wait now.
That's Karamia, 17 months old. She and 16-month-old Amy can't yet be in with the adult chimps who might injure or even kill them. This adult, Abby, is Amy's own mother, but Abby is what researchers call an incompetent mother. This is Abby moments after giving birth to Amy. Abby just didn't know what to do with the newborn. Abby, you see, was herself hand-raised.
So she had not been with other chimps. She'd only been with people. She only knew how to respond to people.
Primate keepers took Amy and cared for her. But to prevent the cycle repeating with this chimp, they decided to raise Amy in the companionship of another infant chimpanzee. Luckily, the Yerkes Primate Center in Atlanta had a solution, Karamia, born to another incompetent mother who actually blinded her in one eye. Karamia came to Oakland to become Amy's link to her own species, and today, a year later, her best buddy.
Keeping them in captivity, the best thing we can do for them is make their life as chimp-like as possible and to give them all they have is each other. We're just trying to teach them to be chimpanzees as early as possible so they actually learn how to do it, so that perhaps someday they will become good mothers.
Volunteers ran with and jostled the youngsters, teaching them the chimp way of hanging on. Margaret Griffin showed them the chimp way of grinning, no upper teeth. And now, after months of sleepless nights, primate keepers have two rambunctious, chimp-like chimps, already too strong for roughhousing with humans.
We can't play with them like they can play with each other. They already play too rough for us to be able to do that comfortably.
Little by little now, Amy and Karamia are getting to know Abby, still separated from her by heavy wire caging.
They groom and play through the caging with Abby, and they're comfortable with her, and she is comfortable with them. Hopefully, but perhaps this summer, we'll be able to put them in with her. And that's the goal right now, putting them in with her. She's the one adult now that we think we can probably do that with. Well, we want them to be good chimps. We want them to know how to be good chimps and know how to behave in the chimp society here. Hopefully then by the time they're 4 or 5 years old, we'll be able to put them in with everybody else, and they will know how to behave. They will know how to be chimps.
There's no room for more babies here now, but zoo officials say by the time Amy and Karamia are of childbearing age in 6 or 7 years, that may change. And the next part of this experiment may begin, to see if Amy and Karamia have helped each other learn what humans cannot teach them, how to be good chimp mothers. I'm Health and Science Editor John Fowler for the 10 o'clock news.
So cute, don't you think so?
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Our sports director, Marco Bañez, joins us now in an emotional moment tonight at a boxing match.
Yeah, a little bit strange. We'll talk about it. Otherwise, kind of a veritable potpourri of sports happenings. Don Nelson's returning to the NBA, some college hoops, soccer news, and as Elaine says, a very strange turn of events that has even baffled boxing fans who, as you know, are used to the weirdest. You'll see it next on Sports.
Everyone wants a quiet place to get away. Here's one within driving distance. The new Camry. Thanks to a new level of sound-absorbing technology, including a special alloy in the steering wheel to reduce vibration, so the only thing you feel is good. The new Camry. Quieter, smoother, better than ever.
Think you can't afford new office furniture? Think again. Call Repo Depot and you can have that new furniture in no time. Hello, Repo Depot. I need a new desk and a new chair, bookcase, computer workstation, file cabinet, lamp. Brand new or slightly used, Repo Depot has everything for your office for a lot less than most warehouse stores. In-stock items can be delivered to your home or office in 24 hours. New offices start at just $3.99, so call Repo Depot today.
This is the most dangerous place to be if your transmission has started to slip. Will you make it? Don't take the chance. Take your car to AMCO. AMCO centers have expert technicians with state-of-the-art diagnostic tools. And relax. Half the cars serviced by AMCO centers Don't need a new transmission. AMCO is the place to find out about your transmission. Not out here. AMCO, AA MCO.
The Simpson jury continues to look at the bottom line. We'll be live in Santa Monica waiting for a judgment.
I'll be here with a full forecast, and I promise not to mention the initials OJ once.
Monday, Road Warriors, check with me before you hit the road.
Ralph Barbieri on sports and the lingerie fashion show, 7 a.m. Monday on Mornings on City.
Now the newest looks, the most wearable colors, free with any 1750 Estee Lauder purchase. Through February 22nd at Macy's.
The only thing as shocking as the crime is the cover-up.
Sanitize this place. I'll take care of everything.
The only thing more dangerous than the conspirators is the witness.
He's got the letter opener.
He's a burglar. Who's gonna believe him?
It could be a little more than that.
Clint Eastwood.
You know who did it, don't you?
So will you. Absolute Power. Rated R. Opens everywhere February 14th.
In a Saab 900 5-door, you could take all your children and all your children's children. Make the things that go bump go bye-bye. In the family car that makes sure the family chauffeur has some fun too. Find your own road. Saab. Lease a 97 Saab 900S 5-door for $299 a month.
How singles are using the internet and online classifieds to find love in the 90s. Monday on the original 10 o'clock news.
Tri-City Sporting Goods and Patio Store is having a monster sale. It takes a monster sale for a monster store. And we have over 4 acres of building and 12 acres of parking stuffed with the best selection of sporting goods and patio merchandise at the best prices. Tri-City Sporting Goods and Patio Store will not be undersold. Tri-City Sporting Goods and Patio Store, not just a monster of a store, but a giant playground. So make a day of it. Come on down with the whole family and see what everyone's talking about. Tri-City Sporting Goods and Patio Store.
Not that anyone is shocked when something weird happens inside a boxing ring these days after all the bizarre, tragic, and downright embarrassing events down through the years, but this may go down as an all-timer. It all starts routinely enough. Lennox Lewis, Oliver McCall in Vegas, but in the 4th and 5th rounds, McCall just flat out refused to fight. In fact, he did not even go to his corner between rounds, frustrating his corner men there who don't know what's going on. Adding to the confusion, McCall started crying after the 4th round, and incredibly enough, he was actually allowed to go out and fight the 5th. 55 seconds into that 5th round, fight was called. Lewis regained his WC heavyweight title. Boxing officials investigating this turn of events, and Oliver McCall's $3 million purse is being held up until further notice, and we'll keep you posted on that story. In basketball on this All-Star weekend, all I got to say is evidently the Dallas Mavericks weren't paying attention to what Don Nelson did to the Golden State Warriors franchise. It's all but ruined. Or what he's done in the process of doing at the New York Knicks, 2 teams who fired him, but Dallas has made him their general manager. He must interview well, I guess. Whatever the case, the Mavs have given him life.
Things happened pretty fast, and all of a sudden I got pretty excited about doing this job.
Life! Life! Do you hear me?
I've always thought, just my opinion, nobody else, but I always thought I was a better general manager than a coach. Throughout my career, it was a part of the job that I really enjoyed, building teams and watching them grow and come together and becoming contenders.
5 years, $7 more million for Don Nelson. Meanwhile, 3-way ties at the top of the conference are the order of the week, apparently, in college hoop. Last night, Cal moves in with UCLA and USC for first place in the Pac-10. Tonight, Santa Clara crowds in with USF and Gonzaga in the WCC. Fast forward second half. Here come the Broncos mounting a charge with Marlon Garnett. He's all in one piece. Story of the game, Lloyd Pierce bombing from the perimeter. 16 of his 19 come in the second half. And Santa Clara going to work. Pierce off the break. That's going to work. And the Broncos, as a matter of fact, win it going away after trailing by 1 at halftime. You see the final.